with me, of course, is always my best buddy, Mr. 3PO. 3PO, I'm going to guess that you're doing awesome today. Am I right about that?
No, you'd not be correct. I am not doing awesome. I am doing super fantastic.
Fantastic.
That's
Yeah,
right.
okay. I knew it was, yeah. I walked into that one, didn't I?
You did it just a bit. And if anybody heard in the background there, that was young Stormageddon, the Dark Lord of all, my delightful cat who is currently biting my elbow. How's it going, buddy?
It's going fine. Thanks for asking. Tonight is Monday night team fight. Great night of Dota in store for us. We've got two teams that are going to be battling against each other. I've already joined a game, and it's actually at the very beginning, so perfect time to jump in. And let's watch these guys fight against each other. On the Dire side, we have Screw the Meta, and on the Radiant side, we have Sloppy Seconds. That's why you get a new plate. That's all I'm saying. You go to the buffet line, you get a new plate every time. Because you know what? Sloppy Seconds. It's gross. No one likes that. You know?
I'm fairly sure that these are definitely buffet aficionados.
Yes.
So that's probably exactly what this is referencing. They don't have a delightful image this time, so we really can't tell.
The Radiant team has chosen an insidious combo. IO and Chaos Knight, Wisp and Chaos Knight. This combo is so insidious, 3PO, that they actually have comics about the two of them. And I believe Ursa is hiding in the background crying because he doesn't have Wisp anymore to help him out.
Ain't it the truth?
Bands that have been out, Treant Protector. We've got a Nyx band, as well as Keeper of the Light for the Dire side. This pick phase is going fast, by the way. Goodness gracious. These people know what they want and what they don't want. Bat Rider, Life Stealer, Leshrac. Goodness, why was I going to mess that name up? And Magnus. Banned for the Radiant side.
A little bit of Puck.
Yeah, a little bit of Puck there.
Shot over the boards, and Rubik out for the Radiant team. Wow, this is going fast, eh? Holy smokes.
Yeah, right? Yeah, these guys know exactly what they're looking for. Shadow Demon and Juggernaut could be a pretty nasty combo if they manage to go together. Placing them in that disruption, and once they get out of it, facing the Blade Fury.
I like to see Weaver pop out there. This looks like it's going to be a fun match here.
Yeah, that's a nasty Radiant team right now. You've got a really strong carry, a really great intelligence caster if played correctly. Chaos Knight and Wisp, of course, just being a nasty combo together. Wisp being a great support in general.
Lion popping out for Screw the Meta here. And we're down to our last set of...
You know, Lion's portrait, he doesn't seem to be the happiest of individuals. I feel as if he needs to use the restroom really badly. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know about you.
Well, you know, I mean, maybe really likes cheese, needs a little more fiber. Could be a variety of things. Personally, I really was more concerned about his dental health.
Yeah. Because of the teeth growing out of the side of his head?
Well, there was that, yeah.
Well,
you floss, that doesn't happen.
Shadow Demon has great teeth.
Look at that, right?
I think he has more teeth than most human beings, even.
Gotta be expensive dentistry there in the nether. Alright, Queen of Pain and Outworld Destroyer. Outworld Devourer, pardon me. Locked off for the last set of bans. And we will see the Dragon Knight for the Radiant.
There is a huge difference between devouring something and destroying it.
Yeah, one of them leaves you hungry.
Cakes. You devour cakes, you don't destroy them.
Oh, I don't know. You should see me at some birthday parties.
That's okay, yeah. I would approve of that. Dragon Knight, yeah. Strong strength characters on that Radiant team there. Not a strength character chosen yet for the Dire side. It will be interesting to see if they end up choosing that and maybe going for... I don't think they go for another carry with Jug in there, but... I don't know. Kunkka, there's your strength, dude.
And good times will be had by all.
He's going to be throwing out some boats.
Fantastic stuff. So, Screw the Meta versus Sloppy Seconds as we load in.
For Wednesday night team fight.
So as far as lane composition here. Obviously, we're going to see Wisp and Chaos Knight rocking together. Who else and where?
Well, we may not actually see them together early game. If we are, it may, like there could be a tri-lane, right?
Hmm.
You may have Chaos Knight getting a lot of farm. You're going to have Dragon Knight. He's going to go into a lane by himself, I'm guessing, because he typically has a lot of sustainability, able to stay in those lanes a little bit longer. Rubik will maybe hit a lane by himself. I don't know. Actually, your carry here is Weaver, so he could be in a lane by himself. I'm interested to see what they end up doing for their split, and if they try to tri-lane. Let me say I don't know. I think that
a strong answer?
Yeah, that's the safe option, right? I mean, you could see... Dragon Knight looks like he's ready to go mid here.
Looks like bot lane will be a CK Wisp combo, possibly, potentially. We got 3
Rubik's head down there as well.
bold, dire players creating an incursion down into the Radiant jungle.
Okay, so Weaver's probably going to be top by himself.
Ward out from the dire there, bot lane.
And that again right there, that's a really nasty combination. Shadow Demon pops out the disruption. Once they're out of that, you've got a stun by Lion with the Earth Spike. In the meantime, you've just got that Blade Fury doing tons of damage. Very, very nasty early game killer, Juggernaut. When paired with a character that can place them in stuns or crowd control abilities where they can still take damage, he's disgusting. He's disgusting. Okay.
Okay. I'm good with it.
Yep. Up top, looks like we've got a Darkseer. I think he's going to be traveling alone. Kunkka, and that tri-lane bottom. Interesting to tri-lane bottom instead of top.
So the dire know exactly where Wisp is right now because of that well-placed ward, giving them some vision beyond the tower.
Yeah, they may try to catch Wisp here. A little bit of a slap fest, as you called it yesterday, between Lion and Wisp going on.
Trading some hits back and forth. We'll see how that goes.
You'll notice that Rubik picked up Telekinesis first. He's going to be using that to put people into really nasty positions for Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight, not really the strongest character early on.
Dragon Knight might be in a bit of trouble here mid lane. He's been taking a bit of damage and will tango up there. Really briefly, sorry to interrupt.
No, that's perfectly fine. That Tidebringer just does a massive amount of damage. But Dragon Knight, as always, just a really, really strong character to
Weaver top lane on a little bit of trouble. That Ion Shell really doing the damage, but Shikuchi will get him out of trouble as he finally makes the getaway.
And Darkseer almost dropped there as well. Kunkka taking a bit of damage now. He just got hit with a Dragon Tail. And Dragon Knight is laying into him, really punishing him. Darkseer kind of overextended here. May not matter, he does have that creep shield.
Weaver letting him know that he is not welcome at this time. We will see Juggernaut bring that spin out, and Chaos Knight will flee, making it out without dropping.
Chaos Knight got caught by that disruption combination I was telling you about. Probably not the person you want to use that on, actually. He's the least likely character to die to that combination. But look how fast he healed up there. Wisp just tethered to him, and
there was a potion that came out as well, so that was a bit of quick HP regen.
Yep. Nice, I like that too. Darkseer made a little bit of a mistake there, got hit with a Clarity Potion while up front. I probably would have been hanging back if I had that Clarity Potion rolling. He relies on that Ion Shell to both get his farm and put the pressure on Weaver. Dragon Knight back up at full health. Ended up picking up that bottle, and now
we could be in trouble here. We're seeing a Hex out on Rubik, and we will see a disruption. Juggernaut's waiting right there ahead, and we will see the spin to win. Poison's out.
Split the Radiant.
First blood out on Lion. That was strong play in from CK and Wisp.
Yeah, it was caught him with the stun on the tether.
And there is Shadow Demon coming face to face with Wisp, and will be put down. as he runs back into CK.
Definitely not an equal trade. That not only did they lose the first blood by not acting quickly enough and Lion getting caught, but having Shadow Demon die there, not good. Wisp came in perfectly for that stun on Lion.
At this point, I think you're probably expecting that disruption combo, so figuring out who you can go after when that's going on is probably not a bad idea. You know that Juggernaut's going to be a bad dude to be around, so, you know, take it to the bridge with the other guys. Kunkka right now still trading blows with Dragon Knight and not coming out ahead here.
Well, and Dragon Knight has that bottle right now and is doing a really good job of grabbing those bottles, whereas Kunkka is bottle crowing, so he's sending it back to the mule, back to the fountain. And it's slower, you know, it doesn't go as quickly as just going over and grabbing an actual rune in lane, so I think that he's having some difficulty from that.
So a bit of poison out on CK here, the disruption, and then the damage triggered. He will prance away.
Not enough to do a significant amount of damage, though. Although they are really aggressive down here. Lion trying to get a little bit of farm there and ruin that lane pull. You'll notice with the lane pulling, they're stacking those creeps, which really helps with the your own creeps dying. And this is why I'm curious that they did a tri-lane bottom. They could have had Darkseer down bottom, getting at least a little bit of farm or something like that, but I don't know if this is really going to work out for them because they don't have the ability to pull the lane like the Radiant does. That may come back to bite them.
So we'll see CK disrupted again. We'll see a Hex out on Rubik. And Chaos Knight's heading towards the river to see if he can make a getaway. Tethered up with Wisp, a little bit of regen. And the Radiant make it out. Not necessarily scout-free. We'll see Rubik popped up.
Huge mistake there. I don't know if you saw that. Rubik actually used telekinesis on a creep. He missed the telekinesis on a hero. Misclick. That does happen sometimes, but those misclicks can really punish you.
Fortunately missed the kill of Kunkka versus Dragon Knight there. And Kunkka looks like he's going to grab that haste rune.
It was a close fight, though, let me tell you. Kunkka walked out of there with several a scratch. Let's go ahead real fast, take a look
we'll
at the
see, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Cast the fight, that's...
well, it was over before it started. That's why I backed up.
Jug took a couple of hits there from Wisp, but I just wanted to grab a look at the gold board real fast. Nothing really significant. Dire is ahead, which is interesting with Radiant actually getting that first blood, but it is sweeping significantly back up now towards Radiant, so only a 250 gold lead, nothing really. Actually, I'm looking at experience, so ignore me on that. Gold lead is Radiant with 200. Again, nothing significant though between the two. And if you note, it did actually swing down to the Dire there very briefly. And then came right back up. Weaver with 29 creep kills. Darkseer 31, fairly even lane between the two of them. Weaver, though, only level 6, whereas Darkseer is level 8. So definitely getting a lot more experience in those fights. Huge fight going on down bottom now. Lion dropping. Looks as if caught by CK. Wisp dropped, however, as well. Poison out by Shadow Demon. But it is not enough. I think he actually missed the poison on Chaos Knight there. Dragon Knight is beating the middle lane right now in terms of creep kills, but that death certainly never helps.
Top lane Weaver headed back towards his tower as that creep wave comes in, with Darkseer leading the charge.
The tower's taking quite a beating.
We've got a smoke in the seat going to Shadow Demon. This should be interesting to see what they're going to do with that. they no longer have the vision with that ward deep into Radiant territory, but
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Darkseer's doing a fantastic job of clearing these lanes really quickly. He did manage to purchase that Soul Ring fairly early, so
and
he's
we'll
able
see the
to
stun
stay
out on
moving.
Juggernaut. Sorry to interrupt here, but Dragon Knight coming in under an invisibility rune will hit his ult and will go directly after Juggernaut. We'll actually see Kunkka come in to secure a kill on Wisp and on Chaos Knight. It's just a mess
Dragon
down
Knight
here
as
right
well.
now.
Yeah, Dragon Knight prepares there as well. That was just a wrong engagement. I don't think they knew that Kunkka was there, and when that boat came in, it slammed into about 2 or 3 of the Radiant team. I do think that there's not enough to suggest that they're going to lose this match or that it was a huge loss, but
Bottom tower is under attack.
they definitely pushed out a little bit too early without having all of the data there. And a big part of that is they have no wards out. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but there's not a single ward by Sloppy out right now.
It seemed that Dragon Knight got a little excited as he came in, hit that ult really early. I guess his invisibility room was on its way out. We're actually going to see Darkseer take a bit of a pounding here and just barely make a getaway. Will he? Won't he? Under
Well, the
Shikuchi,
Shikuchi
Weaver is
makes
just
him
kicking
really
right after.
fast. He didn't actually follow him the correct way, though.
But he
Yep.
will find Shadow Demon, and
Yeah.
that disruption is out with poison. But Weaver will still be able to come in and will put him down the tower, however, making Weaver's efforts all for naught.
Oh, the disruption clones also did a lot of damage there to Weaver.
Can't forget him.
He did get the experience though. Shadow Demon doesn't get the experience. He does get the gold exchange, I guess. So it wasn't a bad thing for Weaver to be there. I don't know if he noticed Darkseer head off to the right instead. I think he was expecting Darkseer to head back to the tower. Jug now caught by Chaos Knight. Gets stunned right off the bat, is taking a ton of damage, but he manages to escape, heading off into the jungle. And there's going to be some backup for him. Lion is coming down as well as Kunkka. And it looks as if Jug gets away scot-free. Big loss there by the Radiant team, not able to secure that kill. And now they have joined together, and they are looking to exact a little bit of revenge.
Wards everywhere.
Yeah, none by the Radiant team, though.
And there's Shadow Demon under that smoke. We're going to see if he can actually convert that into
Dire's
something
bottom
useful.
tower is under attack.
Rubik obviously out there by himself. We'll see Wisp come in, tether up. Looks like the Dire team really just couldn't focus on who they wanted. There is Chaos Knight taking some damage and will drop to the team, but Rubik will make it out alive.
In the meantime, Darkseer's in a lot of trouble, caught between Weaver as well as Dragon Knight. Dragon Tail goes out, the stun is out, and he will drop to that very nasty combination. Teleport, however, by Shadow Demon and Kunkka. They both headed up top. Shadow Demon in a lot of trouble, stunned now by Dragon Tail. Boat comes in, slams into both of them. Now Weaver in trouble, Kunkka trying to get away, and Dragon Knight does not have enough mana to actually kick out his stun yet. He may be able to finish this though. There's a poison out, and I think he just barely lived. Wow. Kunkka was a single hit away. That Dragon Knight poison did a lot of damage to him.
It's always good to have a bottle when you need it.
Lion's now level 6, so we're going to get a little bit of a finger of death involved in our ganks, which will be really nasty for the Radiant team, especially if they continue to not have these wards out. Dire team doing a superior job of trying to get ganks in, and really, really good map coverage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
We will see the Dire team convene on the middle lane. They're going to push that creep wave back, and who knows, maybe we can see a tower finally take a vacation here.
The top tower is at half health on the Radiant side. That's purely from Darkseer, and Darkseer is killing the lanes for the Radiant so fast with his Ion Shell that his lane is able to push and just head directly to the tower. Looks as if they're coming down now. They have a bit of a smoking going on. Jug didn't get the actual smoke there, so he's not invisible. But Wisp is in a lot of trouble here. I think he just now noticed because Jug is there. Jug probably should have hung back.
We'll see the poison come out, and
Wisp gets
Lion popping
excellent
Rubik up.
spot.
There's the spin, puts Rubik down. Into the trees, Wisp goes, and into the trees he
tower
says.
it's nothing, right? Finally, a ward out by the Radiant side, but not in a really solid position for noticing a gank. Typically, you're going to see a gank instead a little bit towards the Roche pit. So
CK coming back in. Weaver coming in for a little bit of backup. Disruption out on CK. We'll see the spin out and popped up for CK. And he is down, but Weaver will do what he can to finish off Shadow Demon. Going back now after Kunkka, who's just taking the right-click damage. We'll see Dragon Knight come in and dish a little damage out towards Darkseer and Juggernaut. Juggernaut popping out that healing ward. Looks like Darkseer, though, is just caught between Weaver and Dragon Knight, and Dragon Knight will breathe some flame, and he's done. Wisp coming back in to tether and heal up.
Little bit of next level play there on Weaver's part. He was actually walking in front of Darkseer, preventing him from being able to sprint away. He was getting caught, similar to how a player would get caught on creeps. He kept trying to walk directly in that path, and Weaver was just walking right in front, not doing any damage, but allowing Dragon Knight to get a lot of damage off with his ultimate on.
Cheeky.
Very cheeky. Very great play. Awesome to see a player do that from time to time. Just preventing them from running, not able to get away. Wait, excuse me, throat being caught.
No worries. There's a question out in Twitch chat. So you guys Canadian, we've got some folks from Vancouver, we've got some folks from Guelph. I myself am in beautiful New Westminster, British Columbia, where it is cold and moist today. Welcome to the best coast.
Lion caught by Chaos Knight, gets stunned and sucked in by Chaos Knight. He drops fast. Radiant in general getting the kill on that. No specific person. That gold will be split between their team.
Rubik unfortunately taken down by Darkseer, and we will see Chaos Knight and Wisp trying to make a getaway. They're split here, and it looks like Wisp is not going to make it. There's the sprint out from Darkseer, who will... Oh, kill goes to Shadow Demon. And Weaver also taken down. Right now it's really down to Dragon Knight to see if he can actually save this tower. There's the ult out.
Nice
Chaos Knight coming back in. There's that stun. We will see the Reality Rift to bring Kunkka back into the fold. He is one hit away, and that hit comes out. And his time's over.
So Weaver bought back, came up and just died immediately again. Lion came down, put him in a stun, and used his finger of death on him. And he will drop and head back to the base for a long cooldown.
We did miss that kill, but I don't even feel bad. Darkseer coming in on Chaos Knight and Dragon Knight.
Rubik completely missing a spell cast, not using any of his abilities there. Very strange on his part. He probably could have used that telekinesis, popped Darkseer up in the air, and they would have had a definite kill. Instead, they let Darkseer get away. That's the second or third mistake on Rubik's part, not using that telekinesis correctly. When you're in team play, you need to make sure that you're using those abilities that are going to benefit your team. So, yeah, that was a pretty intense fight there, with the Dire coming out on top. Weaver originally Shikuchi'd from behind and stayed in the fight. He had the chance to get away, make sure that he didn't die, and I don't think they would have lost the tower. He instead tried to kill Shadow Demon, who popped his wand and was able to stay in the fight still.
And there goes Dragon Knight, pulled back by Kunkka, and will be put down. Rubik as well, just put down by Lion right quick. That's,
Yeah, they both got hit by that boat, and... Tell you what, they took a paddling there.
Oh. It was that or make it?
They need to be drinking some port?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Yeah, I think it works.
As far as puns go, I think that one was probably on sale.
Yeah, it was a little uneven keel.
Looks like the tower is going to drop here. No attempts to deny
Radiant's
from
bottom
Wisp, who's
tower
hiding in
has
the
fallen.
shadows here in the
It's not
trees.
the only tower, by the way. The middle tower just dropped a jug as well.
Middle tower has
The top
fallen.
tower has dropped, I guess, the Darkseer way later. Missed that one. That's all 3 Tier 1 towers now dropped by the Radiant team. They are also down 9 kills. So that tri-lane on the Dire team ended up working out quite nicely.
Interesting. I mean, obviously, you've got a composition on the Radiant side that works, but you really have to stick
Dragon Knight
together.
caught again. Gets caught in the disruption. Jug comes in, doing lots of damage. He's hexed now.
That is,
so much CC.
yeah, that's just. It was unfortunate. They spread him like cream cheese on a Tim Hortons bagel.
Yeah, every form of crown control that they could muster was placed on that fool. And he will contemplate his actions of overextension.
I have to apologize there, the random Tim Hortons reference, not because we're Canadian, just because I'm starving and really should have had dinner before we started this. That T2 tower is just golly.
I like Tim Hortons chili.
It's quality chili.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's
I don't know what
middle
it's
tower
made
is under
of.
attack.
I think that they want it to be chili.
I'm fairly sure that, you know, there's some old tires chopped up and melted down in there.
That's a possibility.
Good
It's
times.
still delicious and healthy for you.
So it seems like the CK Wisp combo really, you know, we're seeing a comment here in Twitch chat. It really is not being used to its fullest advantage. You know, as far as the support
Yeah.
for CK goes, it just hasn't been there so far.
Yeah, and a big part of that also is Rubik, who was trying to add to that tri-lane. Rubik has failed to hit that telekinesis each and every time. On top of that, I don't think I've seen Rubik steal a spell yet, or at least effectively steal a spell. So, not a lot of support there. Dragon Knight off and on his own, not really paying attention. They didn't ward early on, whereas the Dire had wards all up in the Radiance Kool-Aid.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just better team play by the Dire team, and that's why you're seeing this kind of a slow attrition.
Dire's
But
structures are fortified.
So
definitely
Darkseer and Kunkka coming in on the Radiant team, managing to get a boat off on CK, who will drop. Dragon Knight also taking a bit of a brunt of that, and Juggernaut doing what he can to finish him off. There's that Omni Slash that will put him down, and the Juggernaut that is the Dire team continues to roll on.
GG's called. That's game.
Well, heavens to Betsy.
They got frustrated, I guess. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wednesday night team fight.
That's a little disappointing, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I think it probably was set in stone at this point, but,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
you know, that's... I don't like to see a defeatist attitude, personally.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because I think that you're right, and at the same time, I think that in this game, it was unrecoverable. So, let's give a for instance. Last night,
Radiant's
we watched a
middle
game
barracks are under
where the
attack.
Radiant team got destroyed in the first 30 minutes of gameplay. Seriously, they were absolutely destroyed. We thought the game was over. There was no question that they were going to win that game in our minds. You would agree with me on this.
I would absolutely agree with you on this.
Yeah. And what happened? They ended up coming back and winning. It's all about your heroes. It's all about your gameplay and how well you play. That Weaver is a incredibly strong carry, and if he gets even a little bit of farm later on, he can come back and do some nasty damage in team fights. That being said, you know, the Rubik is 0 and 7. Their carries typically had more deaths than kills, with the exception of Weaver. So, yeah, for this team, it was probably game over, and it's better to just get into another match, learn from your mistakes, start warding. So, let's talk. Yeah. What about MVP for you? How about that?
MVP for me, personally, I've got to say I was very impressed with Kunkka's boats. I thought he was in the right place at the right time with the right ship. It's one of those things where I'm kind of taking a look at the scoreboard here, and Lion, great job with 10 assists, Shadow Demon 14. It's holding his own against that Dragon Knight. I'm going to. It just wasn't long enough really to see, but I'm going to say, Kunkka, thumbs up, nicely done.
Yeah, Kunkka did fantastic, and you're right about those votes. Those are hard to hit too. He's obviously played that character, that hero, a lot to know the range on that, where exactly it's going to hit. I mean, he was demolishing them with that. It was pretty nasty. You want to talk about Titanic?
Hmm.
There were boats crashing left and right. Uh, I felt like Darkseer had really strong command of his lane up top. Look at his last hits. He's at 124 last hits for the entire game. That's fantastic. He was doing a great job pushing. I didn't see him as much as I would have liked in team fights, but I was tempted to give him the MVP up to that point. However, I'm going to go Shadow Demon. I thought he was doing great at using his disruptions, putting him in really nasty places. He was always teleporting up to get some kills for his team or to prevent a tower push. There was a point there where Darkseer, remember, was being chased. He came up to help Darkseer. Like, he was there. He did get caught and killed by Weaver, but he killed Weaver in exchange. That's pretty cool for a support to kill a carry like that, especially when he was in a tri lane and Weaver was not. Very quick play on his part, quick thinking as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool to see. Darwin, a word for you.
That one, I think. Who was I going to say here?
Rubik.
Yeah, Rubik. Thank you.
You're going to say Rubik. Yeah.
I was absolutely going to say Rubik. He just really, again, maybe somebody who's not used to playing Rubik, maybe a little out of his depth, but that one was rough. And
is that another Kunkka pun?
Yeah. So,
you
like
really
I said,
sank the boat on that one.
I did indeed. We didn't see the telekinesis used extremely well. It was missed a few times. We didn't see the spell steals that we needed to see. It really was sort of a 4v5, which is rough, and you never really want to say to someone, hey, this might not have been the best choice for you, but I don't think Rubik was the best choice for that particular player, and maybe needs a little more practice with that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much more to say about that. Neither him nor Wisp bought wards. I think that Wisp was probably trying to buy more health benefits for CK early on. Didn't have a lot there, though. You didn't really see a lot of that Wisp combination that you'd like to see from a Wisp player. But Rubik, who was attempting to be the spellcaster down below, he did nothing, as opposed to Lion putting them in really nasty positions, doing a lot of damage, and getting some great kills. Rubik missed some key spell casts, missed a couple of telekinesis that probably could have turned the fight in their favor. I think the one or two times I saw him actually use it effectively, he didn't even throw them backward. He just threw them up in the air and then let them lay down again. With telekinesis, you can actually pick them up and throw them back towards you if you want, thus getting you a really solid kill. So kind of frustrating to see that, especially in a team fight. You would assume that a team of 5 people would probably have better communication and be able to actually talk about really important aspects of gameplay. But one thing to remember is that just because you have a team doesn't mean you're necessarily a professional player. These could have been new players as well, but I would like to see them work on their communication skills as a Radiant team.
Which is why I was a little disappointed that they did call the game a little early, because it's a good opportunity to just learn and play. I mean, that's the whole thing here. The object of the game is not to win; it is to improve, to become better, to drive, to catch them all. No, wait, wrong game. Anyway,
take your licks. I completely agree, and insider information, sort of, but there was a lot of discussion, as far as I understand it, even on the Dota 2 forums, about a surrender button in the game. And I think it was ultimately decided that that's not a good thing to have. You don't want to encourage people to surrender, especially when a character like Faceless or Weaver or last night Luna coming back and just turning the game completely. You never know what's going to happen. Stay in it. Take your licks. See what could happen if you D up. Did you notice that the Radiant team never defended? They never defended together at a tower.
Yep.
They had a couple people who were overextended. They would get caught. They had a couple people who were at a tower. I think they had 2 or 3 at one point, and the tower got bombarded, but they never teamed up as a 5-man team to try and defend. And that significantly turns the fight. Items can change it. Buy a Scythe of Ice. Make Juggernaut so he's nothing, So
Go out there and play the game. So that was kind of a bit of a whiff for a Wednesday night team fight, which is in stark contrast to our Tuesday night cast. There's a note here that says the cast was cut off short in the recording. Was that on YouTube? Anyone still there? We'll have to take a look. Because if it is, then I'll just re-upload onto YouTube. But obviously, last night's game was just a rockin' one. So, for the week, we're gonna have to say this was a bit of a draw. Unfortunately, that was Wednesday night team fights, and is what I have to say to that.
You're gonna have it though. You'll even have these games in professional games where games end very quickly. In pros, they do, especially in tournament matches, they GG fast. They're like, you know what, we lost this. We know that we can't recover from this. It's game.
Yeah.
And that just happens. So.
Fair enough. Well, those are our final thoughts, I think. So, folks, if you haven't already, sorry, go ahead.
One final thought. And this is just a possibility. I haven't really decided if I'm going to do this or not. On either Saturday or Sundays, one of those days, I'm actually going to start casting either my own games, not casting them, but talking while playing in them. And that way you can kind of see how I play. You can probably make fun of me. I'm probably terrible. I don't know. But I thought it would be a fun thing to do and a little bit of extra content that we could bring to you. So if you'd like that, we were always looking for feedback. Please give us feedback on the cast. Give us feedback if you'd like that sort of thing. We want to know that stuff. So.
If you haven't already, please check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Canadian Dota League. We are on Twitter at Canadian Dota, and you can check out our website at CanadianDotaLeague.com. We've got a tournament structure that is coming soon, so please don't hesitate to join our forum to stay informed. And that's pretty much it for tonight. So thanks for joining us, folks. Sorry for such a short game, but, all's well that ends well. It's been wonderful. We will see you next time. I am 3PO.
And this is Stay with Liz. Take care.